Okay, so the graph cosine, we're going to go out our four spaces and put 2 pi there. And then just like yesterday, put a pi in the middle, pi over 2, and a 3 pi over 2.
Hey, just so you know, you have to count over 4 each time, so this number always goes in the fourth thing. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I for the going up? Do I have to go up by 1 or can I go up by 4?
You can go up by 4 if you want to. So then, since there's no vertical shift, the midline is just on the axis.
All the time? Oh wait, no.
No vertical shift. So if it was just a regular cosine, we would start up at 1. But since the amplitude is a fourth, we're going to start at a fourth. So just somewhere down there. If you want to change the axes and make this a fourth and then a half and a 3/4, you can. Or you can just leave it as 1 and just estimate a fourth. And then you're going to end also at a fourth over there. In the middle, you're going to be down at negative a fourth. And then in between these, you're going to cross the midline. So it's just going to look like that.
That's so cute.
Literally.
So it's just kind of squished down. It's a vertical compression.
Wait, where's that middle one? What's that? What negative
It's
1/4?
negative a fourth, yeah, because the amplitude is a fourth, so it's just the distance of a fourth above and below.
Are there ones in between the middle and the part of that, on
These two?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll always cross the midline.
How do you wrestle with your? Oh, that's fun.
All right, let's do 16. Next one. So 16 has a couple more things as a phase shift and a vertical shift. There's nothing for the period, so we're going to assume it's 2 pi. Yep.
Do that.
Amplitude, there's nothing. It's 1. No reflection. The phase shift, remember, is always the opposite, so we want to put a positive pi over 4. And the vertical shift does 2.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one. That's
Yeah,
why
I
it
was on
doesn't make
13.
sense. I was like,
What
the
about
numbers.
So then we're going to go out 4 spaces and put a 2 pi. Halfway is, yeah, 6 pi. So halfway is 1 pi, pi over 2, and 3 pi.
Oh, we're shifting.
Yeah, since this one has a vertical shift, we're going to go up 2 on the y-axis and make our midline there. And that becomes our sort of our new axis wherever it starts. So now we're going to start there on the axis, and then we're going to see if we have to change anything. The amplitude is 1, so we go up to 1. But there's a phase shift pi over 4. So how much do we move that over?
Half one.
Alright.
Yeah.
Just a half of a space because pi over 4 would be like half of a space. So we just move that first one over half a space. And then you can do the same with the last one. Just go to the last one and make it even, and then just move it over half a space. And then below it, yeah. So it's the bottom one there's going to be 2.5. And then it crosses just in the middle here. So it always makes like a V with your dots. But you shouldn't draw a V, it should still be rounded.
Oh,
Because if you draw a V, that's absolute value function.
What if you need to draw just
Well, just do your
Is
best.
this close enough? Yeah, like the other one.
Yeah.
That's one we'll press it.
Just try to make sure it's a little rounded at the bottom.
This one not really is. No, I'm talking about this one.
Yeah, the backside has a few that are kind of challenging.
Let's do those.
Let's do 17 first.
We're doing 17.
Yeah, we'll do 17. Yeah.
We should try to do all of them if we could.
Well, we can do half of them.
Nice try already.
So, what's the period on 17?
We should do 22 next. I don't know.
all right. Well, let's do this one first. Why? We're
Is
going
it-
22.
Not 4 pi. Close.
So it's 2 pi over It's pi.
Right. Period will be pi.
1 pi. I don't
2
know
pi
how
over
to do
2. The 2's canceled. Amplitude is 3. There is no reflection. Is there a phase shift?
that.
No.
No phase shift. There's no parentheses, so there's no phase shift.
No, there's a vertical shift.
Right. And the vertical shift's down 1.
Oh, that's what I was
All right, so we're going to label it. Now, since it's pi, we're going to go 4 places out and put pi. We divide that in half, it's pi over 2. And divide that in half, it's pi over 4. And then 3 pi over 4. Since the vertical shift is down 1, we'll then do our midline at -1.
That's what we were missing yesterday. We had these fractions, but we didn't really
So then we'll start here on the midline.
It was a 4th and 8 or something.
Since amplitude is 3, we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3, and put our dot. There's no reflection, there's no phase shift, so we'll just leave it here. We're going to go up 3 from our midline. So it'll actually be at 2, but it's 3 above our midline. And then go out to pi and do the same thing, put it at 3.
Wait, what?
So these will always line up with each other.
The farthest two?
Yep, and these should both be 3 above the midline. Because that amplitude's 3. Then in the middle, we should be 3 below it. So go to the midline and go 1, 2, 3 below. And then in between, it crosses. So at pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, it crosses the axis. Oh, sorry. I put it in the wrong spot. It should be 3. So it goes like this. So next one we're going to do is 21. This one actually has every possible thing. It has a different period, amplitude, reflection, phase shift, and vertical shift.
Exciting.
Yeah, so 21's a little bit challenging. So what's the period of 21? That period's pi.
Oh, I thought you were going
Period's pi because it's 2 pi over 2. The amplitude is also 2. It does have a reflection over the x-axis. It's got a negative in front. It has a phase shift of pi, and it's going to be a positive pi since it's minus is always the opposite. And then a vertical shift up 1. So let's go ahead and label 4 out with pi, pi over 2, pi over 4, and 3 pi over 4. And our vertical shift is up 1, so we got to do it on at 1.
Oh my gosh, that's you.
That was a big one.
All right, now this one has a reflection. So we're going to start here on the midline, and then just kind of work your way down. The amplitude is 2, so go up 2, but then it's reflected. So instead of going up 2, we actually want to go down 2. So down to here. And then it has a phase shift by pi, so then we want to move it over to pi to start. So our first dot goes down 2, and then right over to pi. That's our first one. Down 2, and then right over to pi. Yeah, this one's got.
Oh.
I need to add 2 more spots there.
This mountain is so
5 pi over 4, 3 pi over 2, 7 pi over 4, and 3 pi over 5.
Wait, what's after pi? 4.
So each of these are a fourth of a pi, so it's 5 pi over 4, then 6 pi over 4, but we write that as 3 over 2. 7 pi over 4, and then 2 pi.
Is that 7 5?
Yes. Yeah, 7. All right, now we'll go over 4 spaces and make it even with this one. So then in the middle of that, we need to be 2 above the midline here. And then in the middle of those 2, we're going to cross the midline, so we'll put about on the midline.
I think my dots aren't gonna look good, so I'm sorry.
That's okay, just do the best you can.
As long as it turns.
Yeah, they're just sketches, they're not 100%
Mine's like this.
accurate. We can do one more together.
What do you think? So?
20.
Okay.
So we were doing it half the time.
Yeah, that would be 3. There's 6 on the page.
There's 6 on just the back.
Yeah, 6 on just the back.
We have 12 to do.
Let's do one more on the first page.
Okay, we can do that. That's fine.
Yeah, that's David.
One more on the back and then one more on the first page.
Hey,
I was just kidding. He knows I'm kidding.
he's like, he's hurt on the
When
inside.
have I ever talked to a person like that?
He'd go home and cry. I'm gonna go home and cry.
You just like, you see, he did it back. He said probably all the time.
All right, let's do the next one.
Quick shove his face.
I don't think he cares.
You have to have pretty thick skin to be a teacher right now.
Yeah.
All right, number 20, period's 2 pi. Amplitude is 3.
How should you bleed?
Actually, it was bleeding last period. I don't know how.
Because
It's not very
a kid attacked you.
Here's pencil right
Sorry, there's no reflection. You guys are distracted.
Yeah. Sorry.
Amplitude is 3. There's no reflection. The phase shift, since it's a plus pi over 2, we want to do a minus pi over 2.
Yeah. Opposite.
And then the vertical shift.
Negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go 4 out for the period.
And then here's the other.
Vertical shift is -2, so we'll go down to -2 to make our midline. So then we're gonna start here. The amplitude is 3, so we'll go up 3 from there. And then a phase shift is minus pi over 2. So that's gonna be left pi over 2, which is 1 space. Because these are going by pi over 2s. You got to label that as negative pi over 2. So that's our first one. It gets up 3 from the midline and then left 1. And then so even with that, it'll be this one over at 3 pi over 2, 1. And then we can add one more at the bottom of this one. So in the middle at pi over 2, we're down at negative
It's like the phase shift, the middle one.
Well, they all phase shift. They all move left 1.
So how do you know that middle one?
This is the phase shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the middle dot.
The middle dot, what do you know what I
The
mean by
third
that?
dot. How do you know how to find it?
The phase shift is always the opposite of this.
Yeah.
So it's a negative pi over 2. So my first dot, after I went up the amplitude, I moved it left pi over 2. Just moved it to negative pi over 2. And then everything else just moves over 1 dot as well. So then this one will cross here, and this one will cross here. So everything's just shifted over 1 dot.
See, every single time I try to make it a loop, I don't get the